Hey guys, today I wanted to do a little bit different of a video. I wanted to touch on some of the conspiracy theories that I think about. And one that a lot of people have said that, oh, they don't do that anymore, oh, it's over. And I don't know if it was called MK Ultra or Monarch Mind Training, or if it's all one word, mind programming, whatever you want to call it. But it's something that has been used to explain certain celebrities having psycho breakdowns and meltdowns and stuff, like Britney Spears, Amanda Bynes, and Lindsay Lohan, and all these other people. And they all usually have around the same age, or somewhere in there, and they all usually have the same backstory. I can't say about Lindsay Lohan. I'm not sure about Britney Spears. But, there are a few celebrities who were either sexually assaulted. Now, first of all, I want to explain what what the theories are. I'm only going to be talking about this theory, by the way. This video is going to contain mentions of sexual assault in some cases, and abuse, and, things like that. And if those kind of things bother you, or trigger you, or make you feel weird or give you a panicky feeling, then please don't watch. I'm not trying to mentally scar anybody, and I'm not going to be showing any images or anything because I don't do editing. If you watch my channel, you know that I just do little sit and talks, and I sit and eat and talk, and I talk about things. And it's a theory that a lot of people, with the video, it's a theory that a lot of people don't believe in. They don't think that it actually happens anymore. They think that it was something that some people believe and some people don't, and the people that do believe it, it's not real, blah, blah, blah. But if you open up two tabs right now and look at stories of celebrities with a history of abuse, whether it be sexual abuse, parental abuse, something, versus celebrities that have alter egos and or substance abuse issues, or both, you're going to find a lot of connecting the dots type shit. I watched a video recently. It wasn't made recently, but I watched a video and I forget who made it. If I go back and remember who made the video, I may put the name somewhere right on the video in an annotation. I may link the video in the description as well. The video is kind of lengthy, and if I link it in the description, you don't have to watch it. It's only for those who are interested in this kind of stuff. I think I've made small little comments about conspiracy theories before, and I know a lot of people that talk about conspiracy theories are labeled as crazy, but this one makes some sense to me. I'm trying to hear if my mom just pulled in. I know that's a car, but it almost sounds like a horse and buggy outside my house. I don't live in Amish country. I live in Pennsylvania, but not Amish country. This eye is hurting, and I do not know why. Sorry, I had a pain in this eye that was very similar, like a day or so ago. But anyways, what the theories surrounding this MK Ultra or Monarch Mind Training are as follows. And I don't know if these things happen to the person and it's after they become famous as a kid, or if it happens while they're a famous child star. Amanda Bynes is an example of it. There's a lot of other people that have had this happen to them. Everyone thinks their life is fine, and they have a breakdown at a certain age, all while having these alter egos, or being able to do really good impressions, or, they then go on, after they have the breakdown, to say that, oh, I was a victim of sexual abuse. My father, mother, handlers, whatever, and they'll start talking about things like this, and then all of a sudden you hear them shut, not a peep, not a tweet, not a word, no interviews, no nothing, and their career is on halt, and you don't hear from them ever again sometimes. And that's exactly what happened to Amanda Bynes. She was And there's theories that this happened to a lot of other people that have alter egos. And I have a theory that it happened to one of my favorite drag queens. I don't want to tell you why. But I want to tell you more about Amanda Bynes' situation. She was on the Amanda Show, she was on all that, she was very popular, she was very creative, she was very, she seemed like a very smart, funny, talented girl. And I think she would have been smart and talented and funny anyway, but she could do impressions on her show. I don't know if you've ever watched the Amanda Show, but there was like 5 different characters that she did on her own. Like, they were all something she had to play. And they were all different, and they all seemed neurotic in their own way. And there's a theory that she admitted to being sexually abused. And eventually, there's been ties. There were tweets saying her father did it. There was ties saying that Dan Schneider, the one very famous guy at Nickelodeon, did it and has done it to other people. And if you watch any Nickelodeon show that's on right now, or anything like iCarly or the Amanda Show and all that, his name's plastered all over it, even Drake and Josh. And there's a rumor going around that he sexually assaults the people on his shows. I'm not saying that's true. From my remembering of this video, I watched it a few days ago, and I only watched it once through. Her father sexually assaulted her. And what happens in the cases of abuse, whether it's just verbal or just child abuse or sexual abuse or whatever, the person's brain deals with the trauma very poorly. And their brain splits off into sections or personalities and creates alter egos. Lady Gaga is an example of one. This is supposed, by the way, and I'm a big fan of Lady Gaga, and I've always liked Amanda Bynes as well. I don't like the things that she's done recently, but if you're having a breakdown, it's kind of like, But Lady Gaga's real name is not Lady Gaga. Her real name is Stephanie, something or other. And Lady Gaga is an alter ego. And Lady Gaga suffered sexual assault. I don't know if it was by someone that was her handler or whatever, but it happened to her. And I believe her Lady Gaga persona is a coping mechanism. And I believe all the personalities that you see come out of a lot of these celebrities because if you stop and think about it, a lot of the celebrities that have alter egos are very sexual. They go after a lot of sexual attention. Now, Amanda didn't necessarily do that until after she had her breakdown. And she was, older. But people defend them by saying, oh, they're an adult, let them do what they want. But think about it. Do normal adults walk around in leotards and grind against people? Do they shout sexual things for all the masses to hear? Most normal people don't do that. And whether you're a singer or a dancer or a talk show host or whatever, it's probably not normal, But I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it if you have a couple songs that are like that, but if every single song is about sex, you're probably obsessed with sex. And there's quite a few celebrities that have these alter egos that do this. I don't know if Nicki Minaj was ever sexually abused, but she has Roman and all these other people that she talks about. The reason that I think it happened to one of my favorite drag queens, and I think that his drag persona, even though his drag persona is his actual name, I wonder if he didn't start dressing like a woman and doing this because he was sexually assaulted and manipulated. I'm not going to say who it is, but some of you have probably guessed by now. And this doesn't change the fact that I think this person is a good person. I think that they're an amazing person for, wanting to make people laugh. I don't think that they're a bad person. I don't think that they should be, treated any differently or pitied or anything like that. But he'll make remarks in the videos he posts saying things about his past. And he's been open about the fact that he's been gay, and pretty much known he was gay since he was 12 or 13 years old. But he will say things that don't sit right with me and bother me. Not because I'm a victim or anything like that, or because I like being offended, but because I'm not even offended by it. It just makes me wonder if he realizes what happened to him, or what it sounds like happened to him. And I'm sorry for going off on tangents, but like I said, the assault and abuse at a young age is not dealt with in the same way that it can be dealt with as a grown-up. If you're a grown-up, your brain's completely developed, and it's able to cope with things a lot better than if you're 10, 11, 12, 13, especially if you're at that age where you're going through puberty and your hormones are firing all over the place. If you're abused or something, your brain may not only not realize that you were being abused, especially if it's someone that you trusted, but your brain may also not know how to cope with it, and that is where the coping mechanism, or splitting into different personas, comes from. And as I was saying, Amanda Bynes had a lot of different characters in her head, and most people who are 12 and 13 do not have that. They can imagine, oh, I'm this, and imagine that I'm this, but not to the extent of almost fully embodying a different person when they're, prompted to. And especially not 5 different people. And there might have even been more than that on the Amanda Show if you watch it back. But that's my opinion on, that. And I don't want to say his name because, some of you might have already guessed. But what he says in his videos, back to this, is that, and this part's going to maybe possibly bring up feelings of PTSD or trauma for some people if you're a victim or something. It's the way that he words it that makes me think he doesn't realize that there's a possibility. He will say that at 12 and 13, he engaged in sexual acts with men who were grown-ups, with men who were 30 and 40 and were fathers of kids his age. The first time that I heard him make a joke about this, and if you know who I'm talking about and you watch his content, then you will know exactly what video I'm talking about, and you'll probably remember, at least. He was talking about messing around with a man in a bathroom at, I believe, a theme park or something, and someone walked in, and the man just told him to just shut up and be still. And then, in his more recent video, I don't know, and I also don't know if this person is being serious when they say these things, because they are a comedian. And if they're not being serious and I'm just reading too much into this, then I apologize right now. He made comments in his last video about clergymen and people that are pastors doing this kind of stuff with him. In my opinion, it's to him, because if they are grown-ups, they know better than to let a child do those kinds of things to them, or do those kinds of things to a child. And I even left a comment on that video, I personally think that even if he doesn't realize and connect the dots in his brain, and I'm not calling him stupid, because that's another, mechanism of this, it messes with your brain in such a way that it represses it. It tries to cope with the trauma. And because, again, it's happening when you're a kid, you're not going to deal with it and accept it and move on like you would if you were a grown-up. And some grown-ups don't even ever move on and accept it. They're still suffering every single day, but if you're a grown-up, you have a better coping ability. And I'm not saying, again, I'm not trying to say this is or isn't what happened to him. I'm just saying that this is kind of a theory that I have, which this video is going to be about conspiracy theories. That's the title of the video. I'm not eating in this video because it's kind of a more serious kind of video, and you don't have to take anything I'm saying for fact. You can call me a psycho in the comments, by the way. But from what he says, and again, I still don't know if he's joking or not, from what he says, if he's being serious, I think that these people manipulated him. And they did sexually assault him. And even if he was gay his entire life, and, that doesn't give someone the right to sexually assault him. I'm not saying that he's gay because he was sexually assaulted, no. I'm saying that maybe his drag persona came about, even if there isn't a different name for her, because he was sexually manipulated and assaulted, and, in that way, and his brain couldn't cope with what was happening. And I think that when I say brain couldn't cope, people probably immediately jump to the conclusion that I'm calling somebody stupid. No, this is all just theories, and I want to make that abundantly clear right now. This is all just theories. It doesn't change my opinion of this person or anybody that's ever had this done to them. I don't think of you as anything less than, the awesome person that you probably are if you've ever been assaulted or anything like that, because it's not your fault what somebody else decided to do to you. And no matter what age you are, it's a very difficult thing to move on from and overcome. And if he was a sexual assault survivor, then I'm just saying that this is a possibility that his persona was a way of him, slowly developing this persona to cope with it. Now, I'm not saying that's the case, and I, some people say, well, I was this old and I knew what I was doing in those cases. You may have understood, and you may have had urges, but when you're still 12 and 13 years old, you're still very much a kid, and if somebody is even 20 years old and doesn't back away from you immediately, even if you're the one making the advances, if they don't immediately tell you no, they are a predator of some kind. Because there's something going on in their head that isn't stopping them from, there's something in their head that isn't ethically connected to tell them this isn't right. I should go do this with an adult, not with this child. It's simple as that. And I started off talking about Amanda Bynes because she's like the most recent one. But if you look at a list of people that were sexually assaulted in Hollywood versus the ones that have the most out there personas and out there issues, and the ones that have had breakdowns and gotten into substance abuse and stuff like that, all around between the ages of like 25 and 30 years old usually. If you look into that, you're going to find a lot of connecting pieces. But I hope this video was interesting. I hope it didn't hurt anybody. I hope I didn't offend anyone, because I wasn't trying to. Normally I don't care, but this is the kind of subject matter where some people have had it happen to them. And some people may be dealing with these symptoms. But the reason I wanted to talk about the MKUltra thing is there's people that believe it doesn't happen anymore. There's people that don't believe that they would ever take a group of kids and assault them, whether it would be sexual or abuse or verbal or whatever, and break their brain in order to gain some control. Because when your brain is fractured off into pieces, you become easier to manipulate. Because your brain isn't all one yet, so it's not all one anymore, so it's easier for someone to be very suggestive with you because your brain can't come together and solve what, realize what they're saying as quickly. So they could be like, oh, well, and that's a lot of the times why you hear about these Hollywood parents and their kids turning out to be the way they are, because their parents just want the money off of the kid working and breaking their back. And that's another aspect of it. Sometimes it's the parents that do it, or the parents that allow it to happen via whoever actually commits the assault or whatever to the kid. And it's been used, and this is the theory as to why so many mostly female, but it also happens to male, child actors and child singers and child stars go down the same path. It's a theory as to why they all use the same symbolism in their videos. It's a theory as to why they all sing about the same things. It's a theory as to why a lot of them have a similar backstory, or, have suffered similar things. I'm just going to urge you to look into it from there. I filmed this random, thinking, I wanted to do a video about this kind of stuff for a while. I hope this was intriguing to you. I don't know if I'm going to do any more conspiracy theory videos. Mine are probably not as interesting as some other ones out there. If I can remember the video that I watched about Amanda Bynes, I will link it in the description. And, again, I've been watching these kinds of videos for a while, off and on. Like, I'll go through a period of time where I watch them, and through a period of time where I don't. So, to me, it may make sense. And to you, you may be like, I don't get it. That's fine. You don't have to watch it anyways. But I hope this was interesting. Thank you for watching. You guys have been an incredible audience, and it would be amazing to me. And do you guys think that we can do it? Get to 40,000 views? I don't know if I'm expecting it by the end of the month, but I gotta see how many views I have right now. It's like 38,000 something. And that's insane to me, by the way. My subscriber count has climbed, in my opinion, a lot. It's doubled in a few months, and it stayed at the same number for like 2 years, guys. That's insane to me. To all the people that are giving me positive feedback on my videos, I appreciate it so much. Even if I don't have time to respond to you right away, I do want you to know that I do respond eventually to most comments. Now, there have been 2 people who I've had their comments made so that I can't see them. I don't know if you guys can still see them. And I've talked about it in videos before as to why. If you can still see the comments and they're creeping you out, just hit hide or report or whatever. And then hopefully you won't see them anymore, because those comments did bother me. I can't control what other people do with my content after it's posted, but I don't want to know what you're doing if that's, because I'm not getting anything out of it, you know what I mean? But I'm gonna stop this video here because it's going on 23 minutes, and I don't want you guys to be here all day watching. I hope that you enjoyed my video that I posted yesterday. There was footage of the snow and the trees around here. So you guys have a lovely day, and I will see you in the future. That was meant to be a little eerie for the conspiracy theory theme. Have a nice day.